What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. So in this video, it's going to be the very start of a very long process that's going to be trying to turn my garage into a nicely organized workspace that I can actually get stuff done. Because if you've seen my videos in the past, you've definitely seen how bad the garage is. It was really bad when I started this. Obviously there's nothing in here right now. It's kind of awesome. It hasn't looked this way in almost like 5 years since I've lived here. And it took a lot of work to get to this point, but we're gonna be trying to get the floors done today. So we're gonna redo all of the concrete floors in here with some epoxy. And now I'm going to rough up the surface and scrape up all the paint, random stuff that I have sticking to it. Try to clean the surface as best I can before I start using the degreaser or anything like that. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, get to work. So that was just hitting it with cleaner degreaser, scrubbing all the bad spots that I had. Probably didn't clean it as well as I should have, but I think between the sanding, scraping everything, and scrubbing everything, that this is probably as best as I am going to get it. I mean, I could keep scrubbing, but honestly, I think I've done a lot of prep work. I've been working on prep work for like 7-8 hours by now. So definitely prep is everything that I've heard, the most important part. So I definitely put a lot of work into that, and it is hot out and I do not feel like doing this, but we're gonna get it done. I'm gonna try to get the first coat on tonight if the concrete dries. So now the next step is going to be hitting it with the acid etch. And then we gotta let that sit for a little while and then neutralize it, rinse it off a couple times, get it out of here, and then finally we'll let it dry, do our final cleaning once the concrete fully dries, and then we can actually start laying down the epoxy. Well, that was loud. All right, that's all I'm gonna do tonight. We're gonna pick this up in the morning. I wanna let this thing fully dry because I don't wanna rush it. And it's already 9 o'clock. I gotta go to work in the morning and I know I would start rushing it. And that's how you cause issues with anything. And I know I run into that quite a bit with a lot of projects that I have. So we're gonna come back in the morning and start the fun part and actually make this ground look a little bit better. All right, it is finally time to coat this thing. We're gonna get everything out of the garage. It's dry, everything's good with the floor. We're gonna do one final sweep, and then we'll break out the shop vac, vacuum all the hard to reach areas, make sure that we get all the dirt up, and then we're gonna start coating it. I am finally ready to get started on this. I went and bought a couple of extra things just in case we run into anything and I need some extra stuff, extra brush, extra rollers, things like that. That way I don't have to stop once I get it, because a lot of horror stories that I've read on color being mixed match because you had to like pause in the middle of it, or like really bad lines. So I don't want any of that. So onto the actual product that we're going to be using. So it's Rust-Oleum Rocksolid. I've read a lot of stuff about this, so I did buy a little bit of extra. I have one of their 2.5 car garage as well as one of their 1 car garage kits. So that should technically be enough for at least 750 square feet, or 650 to 750 according to their estimate, which I've heard that they overestimate quite a bit. My garage is only about 360 square feet. It's a little bit less than that because it's a little bit smaller than a 19 by 19. With just the 2.5 car garage kit, technically it's 500 square feet. I should have at least like a 25% buffer of extra material. So hopefully that is enough to do just one good coat. I have 2 things of clear coat epoxy for the top because I want to go heavy with clear coat to try to protect it as best I can. But I did want to keep this as budget as possible. I did buy the extra 1 car kit. Hopefully I don't need that one because I would like to return it and save about 119 bucks or whatever this 1 kit was. But I have it just in case it looks like there's not going to be enough material. I'll be able to throw it in there and I won't have to worry about running into those line issues. So I'm going to start following the directions, figure out exactly how to do this. I know you like mix up the pouches, and then once you do that, because it is a pretty warm day today, I'm not going to have very much time, so I'm not going to be stopping and talking or anything like that. I got to get the edges laid out as best as possible, get around all the stuff that I wasn't able to pick up. So we got like my back stand where all the storage is, and then we got the water heater behind me. Both of those were not able to come out, so I'm going to have to paint around those as best as possible. And then just start laying down all the bulk areas with a roller. So it's been a few days and the floor is completely cured. Now I did wait quite a while before I started bringing all the heavy stuff in, because it says you can drive on it within 24 hours. So I waited at least 24 hours before I started bringing all my heavy stuff in, like toolboxes, compressor, everything like that. Honestly, most of it, I waited like 48 hours just so it can fully cure, because I really didn't want to bring all that in and end up ruining the floor or putting permanent marks in it just because I brought in stuff early. Now, I have seen that there's quite a few spots that I could have gone on a lot thicker, and I definitely learned a lot doing this the first time, more so than just watching videos on how to do it, because I definitely read a lot about how to do it, but doing it you learn a lot more, and there's some stuff that people left out. First thing first, I definitely applied the first half way too thin. It goes on as you're rolling it, and it looks like it's covering the floor completely, and it looks like it's going on there really thick. And I wasn't really sure based on how much I needed to put down, because all the reviews that I read is that it doesn't provide enough material to really go on very thick. So I was trying to make it last as much as possible. Then I realized that I had done over half the garage, and I hadn't even used up half of my supplies yet. So I wish I had waited to throw down the chips too, because if I had seen that I had gone down super light in some areas, I could have re-rolled them, added a little bit more material to try to add in some of those spots. But because the chips were already down, really couldn't go back over it with a second coat. So I think that's definitely what I will do if I ever do this again in the future, is do one full coat, don't apply any chips, and just plan on doing a second coat. Even if you just use a little bit more material, just do a second coat. That way you can fill in all the spots that you didn't go as thick. Because definitely the front half of the garage, like as you're leaving it, that I did second, I went on much thicker. It's a lot more consistent, and it had a lot more of like a glossy look and more of like a glass feel on it, because it definitely sealed in the concrete a lot better. Because there's definitely a lot of spots over here that you can tell that it was really just getting absorbed into the concrete quite a bit. So we definitely could have gone a lot heavier up front, which luckily that's not going to be as trafficked. But we did go pretty heavy with the clear coat as well, because I did 2 coats of clear over all of it, and that was hard to do because it's really hard to see exactly where you're applying the clear coat. So there's some spots that I noticed that I went on really heavy with the clear coat, and then some spots that I barely got with the clear coat, and you can definitely tell as you look at it in different lighting. But because I did it at night with just the garage lighting, it didn't have the best ways to like kind of catch the white and figure out exactly where it goes. So during the day, you can definitely tell exactly where I had the clear coat in very thick amounts and then where I didn't. You'll probably notice that I goofed up a few times while I was applying it. So I had everything laid out, everything was set up perfect, and I did everything really well with the prep, and then I start to apply it. It was really hot out. I wish I had started it earlier. I should have just pushed it to the next day and started at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Rather, I started at about 12, 12:30, which is right as where it's like getting its hottest here, because it sets up super fast. They say you only have 30 to 45 minutes to actually apply it. So once you start mixing the bag together, your time starts, and you really have to move quickly. So I ran into a few issues as soon as I mixed it, and I start rolling. My roller broke, which was super annoying. Couldn't find tape because all my stuff in my garage is packed up. To try to like tape it up and put a stick on it. Eventually I just used like masking tape because I couldn't find anything. And then the second roller also broke when I tried that one. So that was super annoying. So make sure your rollers are good, and that if you have the attachment piece on it, make sure that's good as well and strong. So that way as soon as you start rolling it doesn't just snap, and then you end up with all the material just sitting there for 15 minutes while you try to fix it really quick. Then you might have also seen me walk on the floor after it was already done, and that was because I locked myself out of my house, actually. Going through the garage door that I got behind me, and I forgot that I hadn't unlocked the front door yet because I'd just been using that door all day, and my keys were in the house. So yeah, that was awkward. And then I was like, I don't even have my phone because I set my phone on this shelf right here. So just better prepare yourself than I did, because didn't even have a phone to call someone that has a spare key, and didn't have a key on me. Ended up having to walk through it, which I was able to kind of roll it out. It doesn't look bad. At least you can't see footprints, but you can definitely tell that those were different like strokes, and they dried at a different rate than the rest of the areas around it because they're pretty noticeable. But it honestly doesn't look that bad. This garage floor is going to be used a lot too. So we're definitely going to be interested to see how well it holds up. I already scratched it with some steel that I had laying on the ground. So I'm going to have to be pretty careful of it to try to make it last as long as possible. But it should make it a lot easier for like cleaning up oil or any sort of residue that ends up on the ground, as well as just cleaning it regularly and sweeping and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like it, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe if you liked the video, and there will be more in the future. Definitely stick around for those. I'll see you guys with whatever video I got coming out next.